Hello friends. I want to talk about rice. Not because rice is the enemy, but because for a very specific group of people, anyone managing blood sugar, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, or simply trying to lose weight without feeling hungry all the time, white rice is one of the most quietly damaging foods in the daily diet. I used to eat rice every single day. It was the base of almost every meal I made. Familiar, comforting, easy. And I genuinely did not connect it to the way I felt after eating, the heaviness, the afternoon energy dip that hit like a wall every single day around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, the hunger that came back far too quickly for how much I had just eaten. When I started paying attention, the connection became impossible to ignore. White rice has a glycemic index of over 70. That puts it in the same category as white bread and processed breakfast cereals, foods that push glucose into your bloodstream faster than your body can process it. For someone with healthy insulin function, this is manageable. For anyone with insulin resistance or impaired glucose metabolism, it is genuinely problematic eaten daily. So I started looking for something better. Something that gave me the same comfort, the same versatility, the same ability to sit alongside any sauce or protein and make a complete, satisfying meal. And I found it in an unexpected place. Cauliflower and lentils. This pilaf has become one of the most requested recipes in my kitchen. People who eat it for the first time cannot believe it is not rice. The texture is different, slightly more varied, more interesting, but the experience of eating it is identical. Warm, filling, deeply satisfying. The kind of thing you want a second bowl of. Let me show you exactly how I make it. I start with 1 medium head of cauliflower. I cut it into florets and pulse it in a food processor until it resembles coarse rice grains, about 8 to 10 pulses. Do not overprocess. You want texture, not mush. If you do not have a food processor, a box grater works perfectly. It takes a little longer, but the result is identical. While the cauliflower rests, I cook half a cup of red lentils. I rinse them thoroughly, add them to a small saucepan with 1½ cups of water, and simmer on medium heat for 12 to 15 minutes until just tender, but still holding their shape. Red lentils cook fast. Watch them carefully. Overcooked lentils turn to mash, and you want them to add texture to this dish, not disappear into it. In a large pan I heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil over medium-high heat. I add 1 finely diced onion and cook for 5 minutes until golden and fragrant. Then 2 cloves of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cumin, and a pinch of cinnamon. I let the spices bloom in the oil for 60 seconds. This step releases the fat-soluble compounds in the spices and makes the entire dish dramatically more flavorful and nutritionally active. Then in goes the cauliflower rice. I toss it through the spiced oil and cook for 5 to 6 minutes, stirring regularly, until the cauliflower is just tender with a slight bite remaining. Then the cooked lentils. A generous pinch of Himalayan salt. Fresh lemon juice squeezed over everything at the end. I finish with a handful of fresh parsley and a scattering of toasted pine nuts for crunch. What you end up with is a pilaf that looks, smells, and eats like something deeply comforting, but with a glycemic load a fraction of white rice, twice the fiber, and enough protein from the lentils to make it a genuinely complete meal on its own. Turmeric deserves a special mention here. Its active compound curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory substances in nutritional science. Combined with the black pepper I add at the end, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%, every serving of this pilaf is actively reducing inflammation in your body while you eat it. Cauliflower provides vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and choline, nutrients that support immune function, blood clotting, cellular repair, and brain health respectively. At under 30 calories per cup it creates genuine volume and fullness without any of the metabolic consequences of starchy grains. Red lentils add plant-based protein, iron, and resistant starch, the type of fiber that feeds your gut bacteria directly and has the most meaningful impact on long-term blood sugar stability. This is not a compromise meal. This is not a sad substitute for something you gave up. This is better. Make it this week and tell me in the comments whether you missed the rice. I genuinely do not think you will. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next recipe.